I'm not a big fan of winter. I don't like the cold. But anyways, what's going on YouTube? Kind of new to making these types of videos. Really not used to seeing myself on camera or hearing my voice. But I got the day off work today, so figured go outside and film some useless content for y'all. Today I'll probably do a little walk around of my 2003 Volkswagen Jetta. It's 5-speed and it's got the ALH 1.9 turbo diesel in it. And I gotta take a shit. I'll be right back. All right, after losing 3 pounds, we'll get back to the video. Now I'm just filming this video on my iPhone 10, so I don't know how well everything will turn out. A little backstory on this car. I had bought this car back in March of 2017. I actually bought it off Craigslist. I used to buy a lot of cars off Craigslist. All the ad said was 2003 Volkswagen Jetta for sale, does not run. No pictures, no nothing. So I had called the guy and asked him to send me some pictures of it. And of course it didn't look like this when I got it. The hood was smashed. It was wrecked on this end. This fender was smashed in. The headlight knocked out. You can see she'd hit something. The previous owner was a guy's daughter. This was his first car, or her first car. But anyways, back to what I was saying. He had it listed for $500, no pictures, and all he said it was a Volkswagen Jetta. So he'd sent me some pictures of it, and it looked like a typical Jetta. But I noticed it had this badge on it. That instantly got me interested because I've been wanting one of these TDIs. So I had set up an appointment to go out and see the guy. I'd use the Duramax and a car trailer there to go pick it up, or at least go see it first. I didn't know if I was going to pick it up or not. He said it didn't run. The guy lived in Vandalia, Ohio. His daughter had moved out, and the car had been sitting there for a year, and he just wanted it gone. So I looked at it. It was, in fact, a TDI. Big plus, it was a 5-speed. And I was the first one to go look at it, surprisingly. We had talked about it. He didn't know much about it, didn't know if what had all been done to it or this and that. He just wanted it gone. So I gave him a lowball offer, $300, and to my surprise, he accepted. Granted, I would have gave or paid the $500. It was worth that in parts, but $300. He loaded it up and headed back home. Again, not knowing the condition of the vehicle, this and that. tell from under the hood it was leaking oil, and then obviously the battery's dead. Alright, I'm moving this video into inside the car. It's cold outside. Turn that heated seat on. There it is. Turn the headlights on for safety. But anyways, what was I saying? So, as I was saying, loaded her up, headed home from Vandalia. Wasn't that far of a trip. We didn't even pull her off the trailer, and I was like, heck, let's throw a battery in and see what it does. So granted, the car had been sitting for a year. Of course, I checked the oil. It was actually overfull of oil, and didn't bother changing the fuel filter or nothing. Just wanted to see if it'd even do anything. So, third battery in it I had out of another Jetta, and for sitting as long as it had, it started up, fired up, no problem. At the time, it had 187,000 miles, which is pretty low for one of these cars. And it seemed to run all right. Things I had to do to this car. Yeah, I only paid $300 for the whole car, but I probably got $3,000 to $3,500 in it. First thing I did right off the bat was timing belt and water pump. I put the water pump in it. It had the metal impeller. The guy couldn't tell me when the timing belt and water pump had been changed last. He didn't know much about the car. So that right there, that's the first thing I did. I put a Continental timing belt and water pump kit on it. Get that out of the way, because everybody knows these engines, at the time belt breaks, it's an interference motor. You're looking for the head job, and not the head job you want. Anyways, so after that, I'd been driving the car back and forth to work. It was still wrecked in the front. Looked like complete crap. If I still had pictures of it when I first got it, I'd insert them in this video, but that was on my old phone. Let's see here. Alright, I'm back again. Some things I did to the car, like I said, I did the timing belt, water pump. I replaced a bunch of the vacuum lines underneath the hood. That was a pain in the butt job. I put a new intake manifold on it. The old one was clogged up. Did the EGR delete, or the race pipe, and I had put the Kerma TDI old man intake, or whatever it's called, and their intercooler pipes, and then I had them tune the car. Basically, they send you the little handheld thing, and you download your stock file, email it to the guys at Kerma. They send you the modified file, and you load it back up, kind of like, like an SCT or whatever tuner. The clutch was stock. All I had done performance-wise to it was I did install a 2.5 inch straight pipe exhaust from Buzzkins. I think they're up in Canada. Buzzkins. That's the name of it. That was like 3 years ago. Installed that. 2.5 inch straight pipe exhaust to a 4 inch MBRP tip, because that adds horsepower. And that was it. Kerber TDI 30 horse tune. It's got a Scotch clutch, stock injector, so we couldn't go too crazy. You know, your standard 10mm pump. Yeah, that's basically it. I replaced the fender, the hood, the bumper, and the grill with the less crappier, you know, hood, fender, bumper, and grill. The hood right now is completely shot. The kid had tried to repaint the hood before and it didn't turn out. I mean, it looked good 3 years ago, but now with Ohio salt and me not doing anything with it, it looks like complete dog crap. But it's a $300 car. I really don't care. Inside, it's your typical Mark IV crap interior. Headliner's junk. Everything rattles like it's an old second-gen Cummins. I did install this Cobalt autometer boost gauge, so that looks kind of cool at night. I had 5% window tint all around on this thing, but the Champaign County Sheriff's Department does not appreciate dark window tint on your front two windows, especially when you have a CCW. So I peeled those off, so now it's, you know, we're back to the fishbowl effect on the front two windows. There you can get a better look at what the window tint was like before and after I had to peel it off. Funny thing about this thing, I'd been driving for 11 years and never got pulled over for anything. No speeding tickets, you know, no reckless hop, no acting like an asshole. You know, I just drove like normal and I was never bothered by the police. You know, all my other vehicles, dark window tint. You can't see the one in the garage, but dark window tint. Never been bothered, but I think it was a car. I think they profiled me on that. Thinking some kid was driving because the exhaust is loud and then blacked out windows. But the same guy, 3 times in 1 year pulled me over for the window tint. At the time I had tinted license plate covers on it, front and back. The same sheriff's deputy pulled me over for window tint, tinted license plate covers, and he said the car was loud for whatever reason. And so the first time I ignored it. I didn't take the window tint off with the tinted license plate covers or the exhaust and kept driving it. Well, 3 months later, he pulls me over again and gives me another warning. So this time I do take the license plate covers off and go on. But I still left the tinted windows and the exhaust. Then 3 months ago, pulls me over for a third time. These are all in 3 different areas of the county. This is what I can't believe. That guy keeps finding me. He finally got me again, and he said, you know, you've got a spotless driving record. I would hate to add stuff to your license for an equipment violation. He said, just take the window tint off both front windows, and we'll call it good. So even though I didn't want to, I finally went ahead and pulled the window tint off the windows, because I guess, you know, window tint ain't everything. But looking at the car, like I said, I replaced the hood. It's a crappier hood. I got these headlights off Amazon. After a year of them being on, they actually held up pretty good. Bumper cover, grill has been replaced. That fender was off that car, so you can kind of tell the paint doesn't match. But and then this past summer, I bought some XXR wheels for it. I had the Long Beaches on it before, but they were so curb rashed and corroded from, you know, being 17 years old. Really, I think the XXR wheels actually make the car look pretty good. You know, they don't stick out crazy wide. I'm not into that stance life. But XXR wheels, you know, it's got the normal Jetta rocker rust. Oh yeah, I remember now. I replaced both fenders because as you know, there was a recall on these Mark IV Jettas with the foam that was behind these fenders. Both of them had rust on both sides. I replaced them both off the same parts car. And first thing I did was rip that foam out before I reinstalled these fenders. Again, I've been running Kermer TDI tunes. Fantastic. 3 years, no issues. I guess an example of fuel mileage. I had taken a trip 2 years ago to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we had left Troy, Ohio, and I filled up in Troy, Ohio, and from Troy, Ohio to Rocky Top, Tennessee. When I got to Rocky Top to fill back up, it cost just under $16 to fill it back up. I mean, it used like half a tank, maybe. And that's with 3 people in it, loaded down with luggage and everything. I had, let's get back in here. I had filled it up and hand calculated the fuel mileage, and this is hand calculated of what miles I ran and how many gallons it took to fill it back up, and it was at 53.7 miles per gallon, so just under 54 miles to the gallon. I got the car at 187. It's got 243 on it now. I drive back and forth to Dayton, Huber Heights every day for work, so for $25, $30 to fill this up when it's completely empty on diesel fuel, I can drive a week and a half. That's including all my errand running while I'm at home. So I'm pretty well impressed with the fuel mileage on this thing. It definitely went up quite a bit, because before I had got it tuned, I was hand calculated. I was only getting like 43 to 47 miles to the gallon. And but of course, that was all before I cleaned the intake, put the intercooler tubes on it, and got the tune and got the EGR delete. There's that gauge. But yeah, the interiors in these cars are complete trash. It's any one I've ever owned. The headliners sag in. Cheap ass plastic interiors. But other than that, if you're interested in getting one of these cars are great. Absolutely great for work beaters. One thing that's kind of nice about these cars is if you was learning to drive stick, man, these things, it's almost impossible to stall this thing in first gear. Of course, I'm sure a beginner could do it, but I had learned to drive a manual transmission vehicle on a 94 Ford Ranger with a 2.3, you know, slow as heck, couldn't even get out of its own way. I think those things were like 93 horsepower, 98 horsepower from the factory. And that thing was hard to learn how to feather the clutch as a beginner because the motor was so underpowered. With these TDIs, I mean, they got so much torque. I mean, they do, they're easy to drive. car drives good, it rides good. I got no complaints with it. But especially teenager wanting a first manual car, this would be a good one to learn on. Take it down the road and back. It gets up and it scoots pretty good. You put it to 4, it'll boost 27, 20, 28 psi on the boost gauge, at least that's what it's saying, depending on how accurate that is. It'll roll a little smoke, nothing like the Cummins will, but still kind of neat. A lot of people are like, "Oh, what the heck kind of motor's in that little car?" It's turbo diesel. It's got a turbo diesel in it. My only complaint with this car is I think they should have put 6 speeds in it from the factory. When you get into 5th gear and you're around 65, 70, 80 mile an hour, it just feels like it needs another gear. I guess this will wrap this video up. This is kind of like a test video. I'm going to try to see if I can edit all these clips together and make something worth watching. Let me know what you think. Like whatever YouTuber says, comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. If there's anything specific you want me to explain or tell you how I did it or look at, like I said, just drop a comment. I'll try to make a video on it. I mean, I got plenty of stuff to shoot videos on. I got the 2007 Classic 2500 Silverado, the LBZ Duramax in it. Got the 2015 4th Gen Ram with the G56 in it. There'll be a lot of stuff coming on that thing soon. The 2007 Freightliner Columbia Semi. Got this 2003 Volkswagen Jetta. 2001 Dodge Dakota with the 360 V8 in it. Really all kinds of stuff. I don't know, let me know what you want to see. Or if this video was complete dog crap, let me know. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings any. Hey, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. And I'll see you guys in another video maybe. See you.